Welcome back to the show.
What's up?
I am your host, Kim, and I'm sitting across from my lovely co-host and husband, who's sitting with a pug on his lap currently, Mr. Babo. Welcome to the show.
Wow. So I'm the co-host. 25 episodes and I'm the co-host.
You're a really good one.
Okay.
Okay, just kidding. Welcome to the show. We are your hosts, Kim and Aaron.
Yes.
We are the founders of Traveler School, an online course for healthcare travelers, the Facebook group Freedom and Scrubs, the YouTube channel
Kim and Aaron
G, and all the things in the healthcare industry.
We have a plethora of social media.
We have a lot going on.
Yeah.
We gotta wind it in a little.
And we do have the pug sitting on my lap because I did yell at her we usually kick her out of the room because she snores and makes noises and licks her lips and chews her toys. But I yelled at her and she gave me the big pug eyes. So
now you're a softie. And she's sitting here momentarily quiet, but she's about to go off and I could just tell. So
no, she's sitting on my lap.
If it gets loud and annoying, blame Aaron.
Yeah, it'd be my fault.
Can I just say I'm sitting here. In front of me is my computer screen with an application for the Amazing Race 2020.
For all of you guys that do not know, Kim and I have sent in about 5 videos to try to get on that show.
No, 3. And one of them we never submitted because we were naked, wasted, wearing cowboy boots, and it was like 30 minutes.
We did a 30-minute spiel. Then we did one where we tried to reenact the ending where we jump on the mat, and then I did a voiceover, like acting like I was Phil.
No, that's humiliating.
It was. I don't have any issues watching our YouTube videos, watching our trainings. I cannot watch those. They make me cringe.
Screw watching it. I can't even hear you talk about it. It's like I'm so embarrassed.
And then I just saw the last one. It was on your computer. Of the one where you walked up behind me with Mimi from a hike and you were like, oh, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And I'm like sending in our video for the Amazing Race. And we were in Pacifica and we were on a hike.
Oh my God.
And then we also did the one where I thought, okay, fine, I'll send in like all of our YouTube videos. And I did a montage and you're only allowed 130 kilobytes for the video or 30 kilobytes. And I sent in a 4 gig video and I had to like shrink it down.
We were really proud of that video.
It was a good video. It's actually on our YouTube channel, the full video.
Don't watch it. It's humiliating.
I was wearing a pug shirt.
You were wearing a pug shirt because we thought it was going to get attention because who doesn't like pugs? But clearly Phil's not into pugs because the phone still hasn't rang.
It wasn't about Phil not being into pugs. It was about the fact that I had to shrink it down to a thumbnail-sized video on a full screen. How would they even be able to see it?
Thinking? Can we just take a scenic route for a second? Because I wanted to just say, I wanted to tell the cowboy boot story.
Oh, no.
Because it's such a classic moment. Like, it's so us. And it was the first time that... So... Fun fact, one of our dreams has always been to go on the Amazing Race. We feel like we would kill it. It would be amazing. It would be fun. And we feel like we would make good television. Okay. Yeah. So it's always been a dream. So when we took our very first travel assignment in Atlanta, we thought, let's go for it. Let's send in an application. And with the application, you have to do a video. Like Aaron said, it's a very short video to the point. It's like a minute long. Like, it's super quick, right? Mm-hmm. They just kind of want to get an idea of what you look like, who you are, your energy, whatever, super quick. So Aaron and I decide that basically we're going to get naked wasted. We drank like 2 bottles of Riesling. Ew. Like Riesling. And then I went and changed and put on a plaid shirt and like Daisy Dukes. And a pair of cowboy boots, which is so not even my vibe or style or like anything about me. So odd pick, but I think it was the Riesling. And then you wore like a cowboy hat.
I
don't
even
jorts.
Have a cowboy hat or jorts, thank you. Which I think if I did wear jorts, we would have been on the show.
Probably. So we sit in front of the camera in our jorts and we literally, I'm not exaggerating,
told our life story.
Slur our words for like an hour and a half telling our entire life story from the time we came out of the womb.
Yeah.
And wonder why we didn't get picked. Actually, we didn't even send that one in because it was way too long. And I think we watched it the next day and like threw up in our mouths.
Yeah, a little bit.
But that was our first attempt.
But we've done plenty more since then, and they still haven't been successful. So it wasn't the right timing.
It wasn't the right timing. So we feel like this is our year, and if you happen to know anybody in casting, send them our way, because
absolutely.
I feel like it's going to be a win this time.
It will be.
All right, that was a total tangent,
it is.
But so
it's
part of it.
If you're new to the show, welcome. We love having you. You can definitely, if you're liking this, share this out with your friends. Go and leave us a review you can go to freedomandscrubs.com. Everything about the podcast is there. You can listen to different episodes. You can write us. We have an ask section where you can just write in and ask us questions, give us episode suggestions. We just absolutely love hearing from you guys.
And if you're listening to this is will come out on December 17th. Mm-hmm. And if you're listening then, we are doing a free masterclass for healthcare travelers in our Facebook group that's geared towards new travelers that are interested in getting started. And we're going to go over, what to think about, how to prepare, all kinds of tips and tricks to help set you up for success. So if you are into that, we will put the link. You can sign up. It's totally free. It will be in the description. You can sign up and join us live for that masterclass. Yep. And also, Traveler School is currently open for enrollment, and that is our fully comprehensive online course, 7 modules, step-by-step, lesson by lesson, everything there is to know about traveling and all the tools and support to help set you up for success as a traveler. So check that out. We will also put the link for that in the description. And with that, you want to get into the episode?
Let's do it. Okay, so this week we were chit-chatting, and we were going to do an episode on traveler burnout, and Kim and I just got back from a walk. It was a beautiful day in Chico because it had been raining for what seems like an entire month. And it's that beautiful, crisp, like 52 degrees and sunny with no wind. It's like my favorite kind of day. So we thought, why not get Mimi out, take her for a walk, tire her out, and then we'll come in and get started on the things we had to do. Well, on the walk, we actually started talking about a different topic, and we feel like this topic is going to be a good one for the podcast.
Yeah, so it's going to be a quick traveler tip. It's geared towards healthcare traveling, but honestly, it can be applicable. I guess it's really not towards healthcare traveling, but we'll use it in the context of healthcare traveling. But what came up, and you actually brought this up, but here's the thing. I'll just start.
Well, what is the episode?
Preface. Good. It's about. Well, I was gonna say something. Okay. You're messing up my vibe.
Go ahead.
Okay. To preface, we're building up the anticipation.
Okay.
We're big planners. Okay, we're all about planning, learning the things, preparing yourself. Hello, that's why we're doing a masterclass to help travelers plan, prep, get prepared. Same with Traveler School, because there's a need for that. There's a need to if you're diving into something new, to research it and to really start figuring things out so you can feel more comfortable and confident when you're going into anything new. So I want to just start with that. We're big planners. But what came up, and the topic that came up, is that there's only so much planning you can do before it's actually time to take action and to take the steps to move forward and figure it out from there, right? You can plan and you can plan and you can plan and you can research and you can take Traveler School and all of the things and know everything there is to know, but nothing will actually prepare you than the act of getting into it, taking the action and getting into the flow of whatever you're doing and learning and growing and adjusting from there.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful gift that we get as healthcare travelers. Like we said, it can be used in your life in general, but it's really, again, geared because of what we see day to day as healthcare travelers. And the one thing is there is a lot to learn about the healthcare traveling industry, how it works, how to work with different companies, how to find the right recruiters, how to understand your pay and how we get paid, and your taxes and your tax home, and there's just endless amounts of things. How we interview is different. All those things are fantastic to learn. But what's funny is Kim and I have been in the teaching space and being leaders in the industry for 2 years now. It's December. That's crazy. Wow. We were about to launch the course this time. So it's almost 2.5 years, because we started our first trainings in July of 16.
I think so.
Something like that. Yeah, crazy. It's crazy. So basically, a lot of the questions we get, it's really funny to me. I've seen them. There's not as many logistical questions because we do a lot of trainings on that. A lot of the questions we get are, hey, I'm seeing this and this came up and I didn't expect this. And like, what do you do in this situation? Or, I got canceled on this thing and like, what do I do? Or this contract didn't end up the right way that I thought it was going to be. And like, what do I do? And there's a lot of things that people ask that are based off of perception and experience and things that we can only guide you so far, and learning to trust your intuition and your intuition basically, and where that's led you is all you have. And I think that's the thing nowadays with the information age. You can research, and people want this detailed template of what's going to happen, and I need to learn all these things, and then nothing's going to happen if I learn this. But what they're missing is the fact that there is still that underlying thing that you're going to run into situations that you've never seen before, and then being able to dig into your tool bag of your own perception, your own intuition, and follow that, and it steer you out, and then you learn and grow from there.
Yeah, it's like you can only plan so much, but you got to get into the game. You got to figure it out. Traveling is not linear. Traveling is not like, oh, I just learn and I jump into it and it's smooth sailing. There's so much that comes up. There's obstacles that come up. You're getting out of your comfort zone. Things don't always work out. Things turn out to be very different than you originally thought. And so you can have all the tools and support that you need to get going, but what you will learn on the road, nothing can prepare you for that. Like, you have to show up and take what comes your way, learn from it, adjust, grow, and take it with you for the ride, right? Mm-hmm. So this is coming up for us a lot in our own life. And it was interesting because we talked about this last week on the podcast. If you haven't listened to that one, go listen to it, because there's a really good one about some things that we have going on next year and a cool reading that we had. And one of the cards that really resonated with me was a bunch of swords. Mm-hmm. And it was a bunch of swords. And what it symbolized was that you can look at all of the moves and all the positions and everything that could happen. And, during a, what do they call it?
It was based off of the artwork of the card was based off of a diagram that the artist found from fencing with the swords.
Yeah.
And so it's basically all the body positions that you can do to be in a fencing match, and you can study it and base your attack off of that.
Right. And so you could, analyze it forever and try to prep yourself to know every single move that you're going to make, but nothing is going to prepare you except when you actually just jump into the ring, jump into the game, or they don't call it the match, and just go for it and figure it out and be intuitive with the flow of whatever you're getting yourself into.
Right.
And so, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's funny because I always relate everything into sports, right? And football and basketball, and especially as you get into the higher realms, but mainly in football, you start off, even in high school, where you spend all week watching film on the team you're playing. The coaches break it down play by play, and 3rd down and 2, they run this play 90% of the time and be looking for this formation and understand that. And what that does is it helps you prepare mentally, but you still have to execute, right? You still have to just play. You still have to allow your natural ability to come out, your instincts, your skill, your just natural ability to allow you to complete the task that you've been planning for, right? And so I think that's what's missing in a lot of people's thought processes, and maybe they're just not really grasping it or really taking time to think about it, that you can learn all the logistical things, but it's only going to prepare you to a certain extent, and it's allowing and understanding that things are going to come up. Everything is not rainbows and butterflies, and that's what I personally love about traveling, is because it keeps me on my toes at all times, and the things that I have learned due to the obstacles that we've had to overcome, it has only made me that much stronger to deal with natural life situations in a positive and moving forward way.
Yeah, 100%. That exactly. I think, we're kind of just circling and we keep saying the same thing over and over again. And I think the point and the takeaway, and especially because I know a lot of people are gearing up to start traveling in the new year. And not everybody knows exactly when they're going to go, but they know like 2020 is my year. 2020 is my year. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get prepared. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do all that. And that is great and fantastic. And we totally encourage that. But don't let the planning process hold you back from taking the leap, because taking the leap is what's going to allow this whole thing to get into momentum. And to know that when you sign the contract to start traveling, you are signing up for a life, no matter what, that is going to have a lot of variables and a lot of unknowns and a lot of things that are just going to come up. It's just part of it. It's just part of the lifestyle we choose to live, because we're not living a monotonous life where every day, you know, we commute to work and we work with the same people and we come home and we do this. Like, it's a very, it's just a totally unpredictable way of living. And so that's exciting and that's fun. That's part of the fun, but it can also be, you know, scary and overwhelming and confusing and all of the things. So if you kind of just know that you're getting into that, that's what you're signing up for, but you have a support system of other travelers around you, and that you can figure anything out as you get into it and you learn from it, and next time you'll have a better understand, like, because experience is what gives you the clarity and the confidence when something comes along in the next time. Then you have the tools and the practice to be able to deal with it or handle it differently
and come out on the other side the next time it comes up.
Right. The experience that you gain. And so just to reiterate, planning, preparing, setting yourself up, learning the things. We're huge proponents. Learn this industry, learn the logistical things, learn as much as you possibly can, and then know, awesome, you got a tool bag, you have you know, you can reach in and grab whatever you need to when you hit different certain situations, but take the leap and just go for it.
Yeah.
And know that by taking action, you're going to start to figure things out on your own, and every traveler has their own journey and their own things that come up during
Right,
it.
and one thing we haven't talked about is a lot of times, you know, in our Facebook group, on our podcast, actually it's not anymore, but our logo is one Mimi holding a globe, because one Mimi's adorable and it draws attention. But the one thing that we don't talk about too much is the paper airplane, and that's a big thing because, you know, it resonates with Kim and I a lot, and we do have it on our website, but it's basically every paper airplane is made uniquely. Usually you don't make the same paper airplane. And even if you did, when you throw it, it flies its own unique route every single time. And the thing that differentiates between the routes is air, outside type of, obstacles, elements that are uncontrollable to the person throwing the paper airplane. The only time a paper airplane really flies is if you're in like a vacuum room with no air and no wind and no nothing, right? It just soars. But taking all that into consideration, that's why it's in our logo, is because of the fact that healthcare traveling, nobody has the same journey. Everything is unique. And if it flies and you throw it and it crashes into the ground, you get to choose if you're going to pick it up, readjust, and throw it again, and maybe prepare for those elements. And now your paper airplane flies even farther, but it will come down again. And then you have to go to that point, pick it up, and throw it again. And that's very symbolic of our traveling lifestyle, because nobody's travels are going to be the same. You're going to run into different situations than somebody else would. And the only thing that you have is your perception and the way that you handle situations and the way that you bounce back from situations and how you look at those situations is what sets you apart from any other person.
100%. Let's leave it at that. It's
okay.
Perfect. Perfect way to end it.
Awesome. This was a good one. Man.
Done and done.
I love it.
Done and done. I feel good with it. I don't want to add anything else.
Okay. Well, we'll sit you with that, and hopefully that carries you throughout the week.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Leave us a comment, give us feedback. What are you guys thinking? Do you like these quick tips, travelers? Do you want us to talk more about, other things, or are you enjoying these healthcare traveling tips? Let us know what you think. Share this out with a friend if you're enjoying it. Let's share the love.
Yes.
And
send prayers for our Amazing Race video.
Yes, we're going to go do our video. I'm excited. But that means I have to go blow dry my hair, and I don't want to.
Yeah, we're not doing that today.
Fine.
We have too many other things to do.
All right.
All right, y'all. Well, we will see you next week. Until then,
bye.
That's your sign off?
Yep.
All right. Deuces.